Sonic Origins Plus, an expansion pack released for Sonic Origins in celebration of Sonic's 32nd birthday, which adds some extra content to the game. But is Sonic Origins Plus really worth the extra 10 rings? I mean, the base game itself was pretty faulty, although personally when I played through the game on this channel, I didn't really encounter any bugs, like at all. But I have seen that the game has, it's not perfect. So does Sonic Origins Plus do anything to rectify these errors? And is the extra content that it comes with really worth it? I don't know. Let's find out. So let's just get all of the disappointing stuff out of the way. Sonic 3's music. Yeah, that still hasn't changed.
Oh my...
But to be honest, it was kind of a long shot from the beginning. I really did not think that the music was gonna change, and it didn't, so that's not ideal. Also, if you got the deluxe version of base Sonic Origins, then you're kind of fucked, because the premium fun pack and the music pack are included with Plus. So if you bought the digital deluxe version of this game, and if you buy Plus, then you pretty much just bought some of the same content twice, which is not a very cool move by Sega. Although to be fair, a lot of games get Game of the Year editions like a year after the base game gets released. But when you look at Sonic Frontiers and how that game is getting free DLC, then yeah, this looks like a very strange decision. And also, the bugs. Yeah, I don't think these really got fixed. In fact, I think Plus might have added some more bugs, which is fucking hilarious. But now let's get into what Plus adds. Get it? I made a math joke. I am so tired. Like this surprise puzzle artwork thingy, where you have to do some challenges in the games.
What the scallop?
And if you complete all of the challenges, you are given access to the cheat codes for each game's level select, which would be really cool if we couldn't just, you know, look them up.
Dumbass.
But the sentiment is appreciated, I guess. One of the main things included with Plus are the new Game Gear games, or not really new, because you know they're old. And from what I've seen, the emulation of these games is pretty solid, aside from maybe like a few minor audio issues. And the games that are included are okay, I guess, but you can't really help but feel like there should have been more games added than just these Game Gear games, like Knuckles Chaotix. Maybe some games that were included in past collections, like Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters, and maybe the best Sonic the Hedgehog game of all time, Sonic 3D Blast Flicky's Island. But hey, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is here, so that's cool. But if you really wanted to play these games officially, for some reason, maybe your favorite game is Tails Adventure, and you don't have another collection where you could play it, or some other means, then yeah, maybe this pack of games alone will make Sonic Origins Plus worth it to you. But now let's get into the main reason why I got this thing. Playable Knuckles and Sonic CD, and playable Amy fucking Rose is here. Let's get into Amy later, let's talk about my boy Knux first. It is kind of odd how Knuckles was left out of Sonic CD in the original base Sonic Origins game, and having that option be locked behind Sonic Origins Plus is pretty weird. That is a strange decision, but it is cool, because Knuckles was just built for a game like CD. CD revolves a lot more around exploration of the levels, and Knuckles is just that guy for that. His gliding and climbing abilities make it so much fun to just climb around everywhere and just explore every nook and cranny of this game. And like I said, having this be locked behind Sonic Origins Plus is pretty weird. This really should have been in the base game. Actually, a lot of stuff should have been in the base game. But if you really want to play as Knuckles officially in Sonic CD, and you don't have any other means to do so, then being able to play as him in CD might make this expansion pack just a little more worth it for you. But now, the main thing that got me excited for this was Amy being added as a playable character, and playing as her is pretty fun. Of course, she has a pretty similar moveset to Sonic. She could run and jump and all that, but what makes her moveset stand out is that, like Sonic 3's Insta Shield, if you jump and press the jump button again, she whips out her fucking hammer and just annihilates anything that stands in her way. The only issue with it though is that it doesn't really have the invincibility frames that the Insta Shield has, so if you use it in a really weird angle, there's a chance that you'll still get hurt even if you use it. But when it works, and it's really fun. But that's not all she has, because like Sonic, she has a drop dash. Kinda. Amy's version of the drop dash pretty much is activated in the same way that you activate Sonic's, except instead of rolling into a spin dash when she lands, she whips out that hammer and goes fucking ham. And the range on it isn't that long, so you kind of have to be careful when and how you use it. And one small thing that it has over the drop dash is that you can turn right and left with it, so you're not just locked into one single direction when you use it. So of course Amy has her advantages and disadvantages compared to the other characters, but playing as her is still really cool, and I think this is the first time that she's ever actually been playable in a classic game, or games, plural. Because Amy's playable and not just CD, she's playable in the other games as well. And if you've played Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you know what this means. That's right, Amy can finally go super, and she looks cool as fuck. And she doesn't go golden like the other hedgehogs, so she really just said, nah, I'ma do my own thing. Instead of turning golden, she gets this pinkish glow, which kind of reminds me of Goku Black Super Saiyan Rose for some reason. And Super Amy plays just like most of the other super characters. She gains invincibility and is pretty much immortal, unless she gets crushed to death. Where she really gets crazy though is if you play Sonic 3 and Knuckles and you get all of the Super Emeralds, you unlock Super Amy. Again. Yeah, they kind of went the Super Tails route, where they just call him the same name, but it's pretty much Hyper Amy. And when Amy goes hyper, she basically turns into a fucking hammer bro. She gains the ability to just spam her hammers infinitely. She goes crazy. It's fucking awesome. And I just realized that this is the first time that we've gotten a new hyper character since Sonic 3 and K came out, and that alone is pretty wild. So yeah, Amy is a super fun character, and it's really cool that they added her in. So now she's alongside the rest of the boys. So after going over all of the content that Sonic Origins Plus includes, is it really worth it? It depends. If you own the Digital Deluxe Edition, then no, not really. Unless you just really want to play as Knuckles and CD and playable Amy. Oh, and I guess the Game Gear games too. Then no, Origins Plus is not really worth it. Although a lot of the extra content that is added is really cool, you can't really help but feel like a lot of it should have been included in the base game to begin with. However, if you don't already own Sonic Origins, or if you just have the base version of the game, then yeah, Plus is a pretty good package in my opinion. The Game Gear games are a nice addition, although more games definitely would have been nice. And although Knuckles should have been in CD since the beginning, it is nice to finally have him here in an official capacity. And finally having a playable classic Amy is so cool. So Plus definitely could have been better, but for what it is and what it has, I had a pretty good time with it. So yeah, video's over. Bye bye.
Nothing can survive the way you stay like a super try.